Hey, how's it going, everybody? Charlie Wilson here, aka Sinister Charlie. Welcome back. Hi. So we've got Casually Explained. I'm a big fan. Yeah, this is Gen Z versus Millennials. So I'm a millennial. Technically, I mean, I'm 41. I actually, it's funny. My birthday's tomorrow, or it should be today, November 1st. So I'm 41. I'm on the later end of the millennial spectrum there. And we're going to go ahead and like it. You should like my video too, because you're a millennial or possibly a Gen Z. Or you're a boomer who's just curious, which, very curious boomers. But yeah, let's get into it. Go.
When someone says they were born in the year 2002, I automatically think, damn, this is the oldest looking 6-year-old I've ever seen. Well, I won't be using that one when they ask me about the island. I was born in 1996, making me just barely a millennial, meaning I'm somewhat of an expert on my older cohort who thinks doggo, pupper, adulting, and having an actual wedding to a real person they love is still a thing.
Nope.
While also being able to tell Gen Z that making fun of us for skinny jeans doesn't do anything. We inherited housing prices and 3 financial crises from the baby boomers. You will not even remotely psychologically affect us.
You hear that, you boomer with your morals? Ugh.
You will not even remotely psychologically affect most of us. The first thing we have to do is obviously define the generations, which in the textbook is 1981 to 1996 for millennials and 1997 to 2012 for Gen Z. Problem is, it can be hard to tell when you're kind of in the
I kind of like Sam Sulek, but he's got some good bodybuilding techniques and stuff. He's good.
middle, because to the outside observer, Gen Z might look a lot older than they are on account of all the Botox and filler, whereas millennials look a lot younger than they are on account of all the Botox and filler, meaning you have to look at behavioral cues to tell the difference. Because us millennials are trying so hard to cling on to our youth, we're in fact only differentiable from Gen Z by 3 things: ankle socks, hairlines, and when a DJ says, "Put your hands up," we do it with an open palm, whereas Gen Z does it with a closed palm.
Okay. I like the broccoli hair too. I don't honestly, I like the longer socks. I'm a big long sock guy. I like the feeling. It makes me feel snug.
Z does this because you automatically close your hand when you associate with dropping down to the floor, whereas millennials raise an open palm because we don't think Black Lives Matter. While it might sound like I'm here representing my fellow millennials, I did only squeak in there by 1 year, and there are some millennialisms that are too ancient even for me. Take, for example, answering the phone.
Yeah.
Why? Similarly, Gen X still texts like they have an old school brick phone, meaning all of their messages are like, "Yo, bring drinks, see you at 5,
I don't text like
sunglasses emoji," which is at least chill and straight to the point. Millennials, in contrast, have all evolved the 2-thumb texting technique, meaning they're able to send you a single paragraph-long text like it's an email that you avoid opening at all costs until you really have to respond. Gen Z, on the other hand, sends multiple messages to indicate punctuation or a different thought, usually ending it with a skull emoji to tell you they've died and will no longer...
I didn't get the skull emoji thing for a very long time. Whenever I put out a short, somebody might do that. But I guess I understand now. Thanks, Zoomers, for watching my shorts.
Longer be texting you back. If you're a smug elder millennial who's like, "Why does my younger sibling send 4 messages back to back when they could have just typed it in 1 message? That shit is so annoying." First of all, if you're annoyed because you have your phone on vibrate when I'm texting you, you can stick it up your ass. Second, if you looked at literacy statistics recently, Gen Z doesn't know how to read, so they don't know how to punctuate in the first place. And lastly, multiple messages is clearly the superior form of texting, anyone except your boss, because it allows you to better punctuate your rap battles with the homies. If you think about it, line breaks are literally poetry. When it comes to socializing and how you like to have a good time, millennials and Gen X are notorious alcoholics, but Gen X also does cocaine and millennials instead do weed.
Well, yeah, but I mean, Gen X grew up around the time where cocaine was like pure, uncut, and readily available. Now it might be just Fent. But yeah, millennials do drink a lot. I noticed that Gen Z doesn't really drink as much.
Gen X are alcoholics on cocaine because it was the rock and roll culture of the time, whereas millennials are alcoholics and smoke weed because they all have anxiety and need to self-medicate in order to socialize. Gen Z, on the other hand, was very gently parented, don't even pretend they'll ever own a home, and never socialize publicly, so they just take Tren, Zins, and Goon for dopamine. One thing that
Nice.
Gen Z clearly outdid the millennials on is their slang, because just like high school, millennials also blundered the language on more than one occasion, coining such terrible turns of phrase as doggo, adulting, epic win, on fleek, it's lit fam, swag, I can't even, I did a thing, and calling any type of knowledge hacks. In contrast, Gen Z slang had a stranglehold on our broader vocabularies right away. For example, here's some Gen Z slang you hear
Honestly, I do like for real. On God, no cap. That's pretty fun.
all the time, which I will now translate in case it's not clocking to you. Let him cook. He's in the process of doing something well that isn't cooking, so don't interrupt him.
See.
She ate. She looked good or did something well that isn't eating. Riz, charismatically
yeah, there
flirting.
you go.
Crash out, mental breakdown. Shit slaps.
Yeah.
It's really good. Fire, it's really good. Hits different, it's really good. Bussin', it's really
It's
good.
really good.
Gas, it's really good. No cap, for real. On God,
No
for
cap.
real. True, for real. Facts, for real. Deadass, for real. For real, for real.
For real.
For real.
On God.
One thing that older millennials have a terrible take on is that
Hey,
Gen Z
bell
has
bottoms.
bad fashion. Gen Z has great fashion, especially compared to us millennials
Yeah,
at the
that's
same
true.
age. Besides, when most millennials
I can't. I bleached my hair in high school because Eminem and this whatever this is with your NSYNCs. So yeah, I did that stuff. Frosted tips, all that stuff. I'm such a loser.
were teenagers, social media hadn't been invented
Still
yet.
am.
So instead of growing up trying to imitate the most liked Instagram trend, we had peace, contentment, and mixed and matched our clothing like a hand-me-down buffet exactly to our own taste. We didn't dress to impress, we dressed to express our deep cultural anxiety and fear of bothering our parents in case the baby boomers got mad at us, which they pretty much always were. You might not like it, but this was peak millennial fashion. To prove that Gen Z has better fashion than millennials, in today's social media, it's common for an influencer to be chatting up girls on the street like, yo, you're so pretty, can I get your number? And she's like, I'm 16. And the guy's like, oh my God, you can't be 16. What? I gotta get out of here, chat. Back in my day, you'd already know they were 16 because we were all ugly. Furthermore, Gen Alpha now thinks that point-and-shoot digital cameras give a cool vintage look, meaning guess what? Low-rise, bedazzled jeans are getting
Juicy.
thrifted, and American Apparel hoodies are right around the corner. We are so back, baby. At the end of the day, ask most millennials, and we sort of feel we grew up in the best era to be kids, but the worst era to be adults.
Yeah, kinda.
Gen Z, on the other hand, just thinks, wait, things were actually good? As an example, when someone says make America great again, Gen Z thinks you can't make something great again if it was always trash. But baby boomers think, I remember when me and Steve worked for Chrysler and Detroit was the richest city in the whole world. I bought a house for me, my wife, and my 8 brothers and sisters back when we were 23. But millennials here make America great again and think, remember the first 150 Pokemon?
Oh, do I ever?
The Sega Genesis?
Oh.
Rock Band?
Oh.
Growing up without a cell phone? When you made YouTube videos just for fun? Getting free malware on LimeWire? Using an iPod Touch to pretend to drink beer? How people would say, too soon, after you made a 9/11 joke. Remember how badly we fucked up our teenage years, but it didn't matter because we had no social media? Remember smog?
Yeah.
As I was reading this, I got nostalgic and remembered some more things, so I redid the video so I could keep going. Remember Del Toro Quest?
No.
Ordering things from the Scholastic Book
Yes.
Fair? The Bermuda Triangle?
Yep.
Remember burning a CD? Remember CD drives in the first
Yeah.
place? Remember when DLC was just another game called an expansion pack? Remember rewinding a VHS
You're making me sad now, sir. I don't know if I like this anymore.
before you returned it to Blockbuster? I remember. Anyway, us millennials are going to go stare at the Winamp visualizer for a while.
Hell yeah.
You guys can talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah.
Now, unlike me and most of the people I know who can't remember anything, nearly everything that you've done online is remembered forever somewhere, which is why you should consider today's sponsor, Incognito.
Hey,
as we both
that was
know,
a nice
your online
transition.
activity is not just stored forever between the two of us in our OnlyFans DMs, but also by
We'll sit
data
through it.
brokers who
We'll
resell
sit-
your
that's fine.
information online to whoever wants to get their grubby little hands on it.
I like to sit through ads around here. I notice a lot of people don't do it. So it's fun for me.
You might have heard the saying, if you're not paying for the product, you are the product. This wasn't the case for LimeWire. That was just piracy.
Hell yeah.
But nowadays, it's pretty much true. When you submit your data online to a website or they ask to track your information in exchange for a cookie that they never seem to deliver, that data is often getting stored and resold to third parties who might want to scam, spam, or God forbid, call you on the
Never.
phone. Incogni
No, they.
acts on your behalf to request that these large brokers remove your data, which they're obligated to do upon request, but rely upon no one actually doing that because it would be
All
really
right.
annoying and
I changed my mind. It's just going to be incognito the whole time. But there's probably jokes in there. Anyway, there you go. That was that was casually explained. I totally forgot what I was watching. I'm an idiot. Uh, my channel's very professional. We're very professional around here. Anyway, there you go. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. Please likey and subscribe down below. Helps out the channel. And yeah, that's cool. And more people will see it. And I know you want that for me. So, thank you very much for watching, and bye.